Hello everyone and welcome to our unboxing of the Quadjumper from Wave 10 of Star Wars X-Wing. I'm Zach.
And I'm Steven. And let me tell you, Zach, this is the kind of ship that really is going to split the crowd. It's going to split the audience on this one. Some of you already left. You already left. You saw the ship.
Honestly, some of you didn't even click on the video because this ship is just so... I know the player that loves the Quadjumper. It's not me. This is not Sleek. It's Carl. This is a fat ship that likes to just hang out.
But it's charming, Zach. That's what you're not understanding. Is it's charming in its crudeness.
Is it?
Yeah. Not to say the type of people that play that ship fit the bill. That's not what we're saying at all.
It's charming in their crudeness.
They're charming. You all are charming.
No, it's fine. It's very scummy. The scum in general is just not my thing.
I love this ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just kind of like, it's not flashy. It's not trying to be what it isn't.
It's like the people who played, what were the bugs in Monster Apocalypse?
Savage Swarm?
Savage Swarm. It's like, I'm not a moth guy or a, grasshopper guy.
I'm not a moth guy.
This is a beetle, if I've ever seen one. Anyways, what does it do?
Okay, hold on.
How do we quad jump? In case you were unaware,
I'm obsessed just with hanging out with this ship, honestly. I love seeing it on the board.
I'm never going to use it.
I love seeing it on the board, seriously.
Worth noting, this is the junk that Rey and Finn were running to in The Force Awakens.
Don't call it junk, Zach.
And then it got blown up, and then, I guess it wasn't junk. The Falcon was the junk. The junk will do. It's not the junk.
But it is. You just want to call it junk.
It's the ship they were running to try to escape. It got blown up by TIE fighters, and they got the Falcon, which is arguably a worse ship than this.
Well, let me tell you this. You may not know this, but the Quadrojet Transfer Space Tug, commonly called a Quadjumper,
Space Tug,
was nimble in space and atmosphere alike, making it popular among both smugglers and explorers. And everybody should know that we've been calling this the Tugboat in Tulsa, and I think that should probably catch on.
Is that what it's called on the ship?
No, it's not at all. They didn't say that. They didn't say, and by the way, it's called a Tugboat in Tulsa.
AKA.
But Space Tug, Quadjumper, it's a tugboat, right?
Yeah, and we'll see why in a second.
Toot.
So let's go to the fundies of the ship.
Let's start with the dial because
always start with the dial.
It's as fundamental as possible. I'm going to start with its weirdest stuff, Zach, okay?
Okay. Does it do weird things?
It has one backwards.
We're going to show that. We need
bank and straight.
Okay, so we're going to have the dial disappear for a second.
All right, get in there.
Where's the bank keys? Here it is. All right. So we have a ship,
right? You want a turn? You don't need a turn.
I got a bank right here. And a stressful maneuver, so it can do this.
Beep. Are you kidding? That's incredible.
Now, if you have some way of absorbing or moving that stress, technically it could just keep backing its way up.
Yeah. And now, technically, if you're interested in really just throwing your opponents off, you just start backwards on the board.
That's really interesting. I never thought about doing that.
And then you're just literally backing into them slowly.
And then you can turn.
Just for show. You probably just keep going, as they're approaching and they have this awesome attack squad and you're just backing up. Of course, you can't do it twice in a row because you're stressed, but and then you start taking off. You can wait 2 to 3 turns.
Interesting little bit, now that you said that.
Oh, now I've got it.
A line of thinking here is that this is actually going to be hilarious for castling. I don't like castling, but that's fine. Effectively, right?
You guys gave it a fancy name, even though it's one of the most degenerate things I've ever seen in a game in my life.
That's how you know it's a real thing, is that you have to name it. But you have a ship here, right? Let's say it's the same pilot skill as a tugboat. You have a ship right here, big ship, and it's all right, I'm going to go 1 forward bump. Cool.
Yeah.
The ship's I'll go 1 backward. Next turn, because they're the same pilot skill, you're I'll go 1 bank forward, clear my stress. And this guy will just go 1 forward.
Okay, so you can castle forever. Great.
You can just stay there until your opponent is where you want him to be.
All right, well, let's get this dial back up. Let's see.
I shouldn't have inspired that.
Let's see the less degenerate things you can do here. We have one. Now, this is honestly based on physics. I'm not sure this is possible, but it has a 1 turn, no 1 bank, and a 1 straight. Yeah, all of it's white. A white 1 turn and a white 1 straight, but no banks.
Can you imagine this little ship's going?
How can you, seriously, let's get into it.
Get it out of the way again.
How can you, where's the
what?
How can you do this?
Okay.
But you can't, how?
It can't bank?
You cannot bank.
Oh, you can't do the maneuver I was just telling you about.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's
but
probably.
Is that 1 forward?
Maybe that's why it has a 1 forward.
Oh, that's it. You can just go backward 1 forward, 1 backward.
But what kind of an engine system do you design where you can't?
It's too nimble. If you're going to turn, it's weep. You know what I mean? It's too much. It has to go.
Yeah, well, someone needs to loosen the steering or something.
Wouldn't it be tight in the steering?
It's
too loose. It's
It definitely depends on your perspective. Let's talk about the twos. We have a 2-turn, which is white, a 2-bank, which is green, and 2-straight is green.
All right.
We have a 2S-loop, sloop in and easy reds on both sides.
You just set the dial.
And then we have 3, it just works. You have a 3-bank, you have a 3-forward that's green.
All right.
And that's it.
All right.
And then you have your backwards.
Tagging along.
So,
what about, let's get some stats in here real quick.
Tagging along.
So I can
Just
understand
tagging
what's
along.
happening.
All right, well, it's a 1-pilot skill. Jakku Gunrunner is the basic. 2 attack, 2 agility, 5 hull, 0 shield. But it's got so much room
How many
for
points
improvement.
is that?
15 points.
That's so cheap.
So cheap. It's got a focus and a barrel roll.
For kicks.
This thing, literally, you may as well just roll the dice on where this thing's going to end up.
A 1 turn into a barrel roll is just wildcats, man.
Yeah, and also, but we got to. It needs a way to clear stress off the backwards maneuver. I really want it to be able to barrel roll after moving backwards, just do weird stuff like that. We also have 4 slots. We have a crew slot, we have a bomb slot, we have a robot head slot, tech slot.
It is what you think it is.
We have an illicit slot.
Okay, so we have a crew and an illicit, which are both pretty good. I feel like tech is something they're developing right now, and they're being very careful about what they put in that slot.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Then you have a bomb,
No ability? No ability?
No ability, no.
All right, next up we have... Whoa. Back it up.
Stop the...
Just like the tugboat, we're going to back it up.
We're going to back it up.
Get it.
Let's get it. We get a little stressed. Space Tug Tractor Array is important to know in reference to the Quadjumper ship.
Okay, what does it do?
It says Quadjumper only. It's a modification. It's 2 points. It's not dual. Just checked. Boom.
Nothing on the back.
Action. Choose a ship inside your firing arc at range 1 and assign a tractor beam token to it.
What?
If it is a friendly ship, resolve the effect of the tractor beam token as though it were an enemy ship, and thus the tugboat was born. I mean, it's just following stuff around.
Here's the thing about a tractor beam token, in case you're unaware. A tractor beam token does 2 things. When you get hit with a tractor beam token, whoever is hitting you with it can choose that, if it's a small ship, to barrel roll you or move you 1 forward.
Move you 1 forward, right.
So position-wise, if this ship is at range 1 of you, it can do some funky stuff.
It can put you a lot of places.
The other thing a tractor beam token does is it gives you -1 agility for the round.
Okay.
So
very good as well.
Historically, with the tractor beam, which gave the tractor beam token, it's an attack. You have to hit, it cancels the damage, and you get the token, which then lets you move your opponent into potentially range 1 of your ships, or out of arc of view or whatever, and also reduces their agility. So before it was very much a, hey, if I hit you, the rest of my attacks are going to be better, but now it's an action.
It's an action. Choose a ship inside your firing arc at range 1. So you've got to get in there, but you have all the maneuvers to get in there.
And again, because it's an action, right?
You start
it's like,
tugging.
I move, as long as your ship is, if your ship's higher pilot skill, I know where it's at.
Yeah, no questions.
I can move, take the action, give you the token, and that's incredible.
Yeah, and then I can screw
How
up.
many points is that, 2?
No, yeah, 2. No,
all right.
Yes.
So let's get to the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, I'm sure anybody driving this ship is a man, myth, legend style thing.
The way I read it is Uncut plot, but it says plot in the movie, I think, Uncut plot.
Yeah, I think that sounds
Anyways,
right.
17 points, 3 pilot skill, same everything else, except for he also has an ability. At the end of the activation phase, you must assign a tractor beam token to each ship you are touching.
Wow, cool. So he's a bumper.
He's
tugging and bumping.
He's a bumping and tugging.
Bumping and tugging, Uncut.
This is also really just fantastic.
This is a game changing kind of a thing, isn't it?
He moves. You can, if you have the modification, you can give someone a tractor beam token. If they bump into you, they get a tractor beam token, which then obviously can move them right from bumping you because you're giving them a token.
Every time you assign them a tractor beam, even if they already have one, you get to move them again?
I don't think you can double up on the tractor beam tokens.
Okay, I agree.
I'll have to rules check.
But actually, isn't there something? Can you put 2 tokens on a large ship and move it, or you just can never move a large ship?
You can't move a large ship. That's ion tokens. You get 2 ion tokens, you do the thing.
Ridiculous.
Anyways, so I think that's, again, tractor beam tokens are powerful, and anytime you can do that for free just because they bump you.
And this particular guy might not even take the modification for 2, because it's just like, I just want to...
He wants to block, and if he blocks, he gets to do mean things to you.
Beep, just like backing into weird positions, and then...
it's like bumper cars.
No, tractor beam. Yeah.
Anyways, there's an Uncar.
All right, Sarko Plank looks like actually engaged in combat. Look at that. When defending, instead of using your... Oh, wait, hold on. It's got an EPT.
Can we get the what is that called? Air horn in here, yeah.
Party horn. When defending, instead of using your agility value, who needs it, you may roll a number of defense dice equal to the speed of the maneuver you executed this round.
Could be 3.
Could be 3. Could be 1 more.
That's his fastest move, right?
Let's hope. Yes, 3 forward, 3 bank are the fastest here. But I feel like I only ever want to go backwards with these guys.
That's not true.
Obviously, it's not in the game, but that's all I want to do.
Yeah, you can imagine, right? And this is synergy happening here. You have someone like Uncut who goes up and bumps, right? And then it's like, now I can go backwards and potentially get you to bump me again.
Yeah.
Without staying in the
control
same
you is
spot.
so hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
ridiculous.
control.
It's ridiculous.
But this, I don't know. This is a fine ability. Like one more.
Now,
agility.
are there ways to increase the speed on the dial in some way or another?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, maybe when there is, we can hook up an afterburners to the Sarco plank and then.
Until then, Constable Zuvio, 19 points.
Another important thing to mention about this before we just write it off.
All right, back it up.
There are a number of things that actually lower your agility.
Then you can replace it with a 3 or a 2 or whatever.
So even just doing a 2 maneuver, if there's a lot of agility lowering in the meta.
It feels like a very scum thing to want to do, which is just very uninteresting. Anyways, Constable Zuvio, just ragging on the scum here. 19 points, same stat line, EPT.
I love this scum.
7 pilot skill. So he can technically be a 9 if that is something that gives you excitement on the beetle. Lord, it's like a slug bug, man.
You're trying so hard to have any level of excitement.
I know. I'm just real. I need more caffeine. When you reveal a reverse maneuver, you may drop a bomb using your front guides.
The words you're most excited to hear.
Including a bomb with the action header. So that's actually important because normally you couldn't take the action if you're stressed. This is allowing you to do that. And so it's at least interesting, right? It's like we bump, I gave you whatever, and then it's like I back up and then drop a bomb on top of you.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty okay.
That's pretty okay. That sounds pretty cool, actually. I like the idea. The concept of that is pretty cool.
It's fine.
I kind of just kind of spaced out because you said bomb and then you said backwards and then all of a sudden I was just like starting to imagine it in my head.
It's all the words.
And then it was here and then I,
back up, drop the bomb.
World champion.
Call it.
Let's talk about Uncut plot or plot.
I think it's
the crew.
In the movie they say plot, but that reads plot, right?
Well, I don't know.
Flute?
It depends on who was in it, who was pronouncing it. Because I don't think this is a mouth that could form the sound. Plot. Like a sluggy kind of a thing.
Right.
Scum only. Crew, 1 cost. After executing a maneuver that causes you to overlap an enemy ship, you may suffer 1 damage to perform a free action.
Okay.
Fine.
Whatever. All right, now
we're familiar with these words.
Now we get to BoShek, 2-cost crew. This is designed by 3-time World Champion Paul Heaver. Thank you for doing something interesting, which is when a ship you are touching activates.
Okay.
So if you're touching, they go.
Like if I reach down and touch your ship, does that count?
No.
Okay. Just
Your
making
ships are,
sure for all of you rules lawyers out there.
Touching is an official rule, which is
touching. We have clearly defined touching in the X-Wing rulebook.
If they activate when you're touching, God, that's so much. So good. You may look at its chosen maneuver.
Okay.
So you can look at the dial. If you do, the owner must rotate the dial to an adjacent maneuver. The ship can reveal and execute that maneuver even while stressed. They can take a stress move when they're stressed. So if you're touching, you can look at their dial, and if you do, they have to rotate it 1 click left or right. If they're stressed and it's a stressful maneuver, they still have to do it.
It's such a Paul Heaver card, it's almost hard to believe.
The game theory behind this, though, right, is if I know we're touching, and I know you got BoShek, right? I know we're touching.
Paul
and
loves this stuff,
Then it's like, well, should I choose a maneuver that I actually want to rotate 1 left or right? Or should I choose the actual maneuver I want to do? Because I don't have to make you do it.
Yeah, Paul is a fan of the mind game. He really is a fan of the mind game. I think he's actually secretly maybe insane. I think he may just be absolutely insane. The cards that he's designing, in a great way. I mean, Paul's great. We love Paul.
I was like, man, why are we hating on Paul?
But every one of these cards is some kind of a bizarre, like, head game maneuver, your opponent, like Jedi mind trick kind of thing, which goes back to my theory that Paul actually flies an X-Wing in his spare time and is from a galaxy far, far away and has come here simply to play X-Wing.
That would explain
and teach us how to
everything.
do it. Yeah, which is why he also went to Imperial Assault. Now it's like I've got to teach all of you Earthlings how to do Star Wars because I am Star Wars.
How to Dougie? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I can buy that. BoShek's cool.
I tossed my helmet off into the side, into the bushes.
He does. He looks like he
landed on the ceiling,
on
the roof.
On the roof.
Roof's on fire.
All right.
Roof. You say roof or roof?
Depends on who I'm talking to.
Okay. where I am. Also, what this audience doesn't know is that there is a giant window of possibilities behind that camera. It's so hard not to look out there at the world.
Right now we got these two guys over here just acting.
They're acting so
wildly.
weird.
It's crazy.
Some weird guys out here.
All right, this has got to be the weirdest review unboxing we've ever done. Go ahead.
Score to settle. Let's talk about this unique thing. The exclamation point faces in tow. During setup, it's zero cost EPT. During setup, before the place forces step, okay, this is a part of the game we have not explored much. Choose one enemy ship and assign a debt to pay condition card to it. I'm gonna choose yours.
Air horn. a condition card, new card type.
When attacking a ship that has a debt to pay condition card, you may change one focus to a critical. So if you attack the thing with this condition, you're basically rewarded by being more accurate, a hot shot.
Because you have a score to settle.
And the debt to pay card says when attacking a ship that has a score to settle upgrade card, you may change one eyeball to a critical result. So the exact same thing. So basically you assign this to a thing and then you have a better chance of hurting it.
They also have a better chance of hurting you.
Yes, that's true.
That is the give and take there. So if you have a ship, again, that can do multiple attacks, this is going to be good. If you have a ship that can stay out of arc, also good. Now what is very curious is if your opponent is also running debt to pay score to settle. There's a lot of debt to pay score to settles on the board.
Man, that is a mouthful. That's impressive. You said that twice in a row very quickly.
Yes.
Debt to pay score to settle. That's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, the words are very, I don't know.
They balance well.
Is it concatenated a word that would make sense there? I don't know. I'm just using words.
We got to get out of here, man. Come on, get these two cards.
All right. Next up, we have Scavenger Crane, which I actually like with the Sabine's TIE Fighter. I was talking about this on that video with Ahsoka. But 2 points, elicit Scavenger Crane after a ship at range 1 to 2 is destroyed.
This is the killer
You can
card.
choose a discarded bomb, missile, cannon, ion turret thing, or modification upgrade. And there's one more, torpedo. That was equipped to your ship and flip it face up. Then roll an attack die on a blank. You discard the crane. So basically, anytime a ship at range 1 to 2 destroyed of this ship, one of your usable assets basically can flip face up. You roll a die. If you roll a blank, it goes away. But if not, you can keep Scavenger
You can keep craning. Yeah, and so obviously that plays right into our friend, the Tugboat over here. Just craning, grabbing like a missile here, re-equipping it, shooting it out, grabbing a bomb here, getting it again.
Locked and loaded.
Really, really cool.
And a Scavenger Crane, so obviously like a ship with a homing missile gets blown up, and the idea is that it's floating in space. You pick it up, blow them up.
That's so cool. That's really cool. You gotta love that.
In the middle of combat.
Even you have to love that, right?
I said I love this card.
Okay.
I'm in it.
All right, let's finish it off here on my side of the table with the
I got one more.
Hyperwave Comm Scanner. Now this has the shuttle on it, right?
It's also in the the Epsilon pack.
One cost boombox upgrade or tech. Sorry, I can never remember it. I can never remember this.
Boombox. I am never gonna pick. Yeah, it is. I'm never gonna picture anything but the boombox.
It's a tech. Okay. At the start of the place forces step, you may choose to treat your pilot skill value as 0, 6, or 12.
Okay, so you can either go first, last, or somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that's also the. I said that the Dr. Pepper. That's like the Dr. Pepper hours of engagement, right? 3, 6, and 8 or something. I forget what it was. But during setup, after another friendly ship is placed at range 1 to 2, you may assign one focus or evade token to it. Zach, why does that matter? You know, are we going to get to use a focus or evade at the start of the game?
Unlikely.
Okay. Well,
unless you have ships that can store focus, like Ahsoka can use the focus to do a thing, like take an extra action. Or if you had some way of placing ships not in your deployment zone, which is possible, which we'll talk about in the Epsilon unboxing.
Oh, nice. So there's more to come.
So there's interesting.
Or maybe you've already seen it.
Probably the more it's 1 point you said, right?
Yeah. 1 point.
Probably the more useful part of this is you put it on, like a Lambda shuttle, which doesn't have a tech slot, but you put it on there.
Yeah.
And the ability to have a 12 pilot skill on deployment to put your ship last, maybe a less mobile ship that you want to know where your opponents are at before you're placing it. Inversely, be able to place a ship first, not as useful. Might have
none benefits.
But
it might. It might actually. It will actually in the other box.
And of course, you have stuff like the other tech upgrade, Comm Relay, that lets you save a focus, an evade token.
Yeah.
So
that's true. There's play here. There's some play.
There's definitely play.
It's It's like my list is at 98 or 99, and it's like.
It is an upgrade that will get weird, because some card will come out and be good with it. And it'll have a very specific use.
Okay.
Next up, and last but not least, we have a bomb. Thermal detonator, 3 points.
Seen that a million
when you reveal
times,
your
right?
maneuver die, you can discard this to drop a detonator token. The thermal detonator detonates at the end of the activation phase.
We've got some beautiful thermal detonators, by the way. One of my favorite bombs that we make, acrylic bombs.
It'll
Those
pop
thermal
in.
detonators. It's
You'll
great.
see it. You'll see it. Ben loves me right now. Editing away, putting the bomb in.
His face is unchanged the
He's
entire time. Well, there you have it, guys. The tugboat. The what is this officially called? The Quadjumper.
The Quadjumper. And as much as I didn't / don't / lack interest in this ship, ultimately
it was felt.
I'm still going to post a here's how I would run this if I were running it.
And I personally love it. I think this ship is just oozing with flavor and interesting things.
And I would love to know in the comments how you're going to run it.
Okay. We check. We read them.
I read almost every one of them.
Catch us next time, guys.
Thanks so much for watching. You can find the templates and tokens we're using in the videos right there.
And you can also subscribe to the channel to catch more of this kind of content up there as well.
Somewhere in that region. And of course, we have tons of other X-Wing videos, which you can find over here. We'll see you guys on the next video.